Hello everybody, First Month is here. After time you haven't seen from me for a while, I would say, and that's because my desktop was broken down and I lost a couple of videos I shooted months ago, so that was really unpleasant. But now I hope I'm back finally, and today with the continue like a standard test for this Medford Mizuchi. You might see this test video or one of the test video when I was in forest far away there and in the winter, and today something more like standard I do, because there is still not so many, maybe not really much, maybe not even one without that mine on the YouTube you can find. And I guess, or my opinion is, it's not nice because this knife is really good. It has its own pros and cons, of course, but for me this is a really great knife. What I want to say, my experience with it when I carry this one, mostly in urban area and mostly upside down. So one thing, this is one, as I said in my room, I said that this is one from the most beautiful Kydex sheath I've ever seen in my life, which is still true. But there is one a big problem which we can solve out, but it doesn't look like. See how nicely, like, kind of sealed it is here. So when you pull it off, it's not that easy. So now this one, I was a bit careful because I got bad experience with this. I checked that if it didn't hit any stone there, but no, it's nicely sharp. I haven't touched the edge, I guess, as I remember, so it's still original edge. But what I want to say, when I wear the knife on myself and I've jumped from about 1 meter, somewhere like 30 feet, and I had it upside down. It was in a public area in the building. So when I jumped down, when I landed, the knife releases itself and fall down. And because it's quite heavy for the size, it was like, so everybody look at me, and of course something what is on the floor, and this is nice and shiny thing. So it was not really pleasant. Fortunately, there were people which know me, but even that they don't know. Many of them, they don't know that I carry such fixed blades with me. But okay, it was kind of alright. But in really public area, let's say in coffee, a restaurant, or somewhere, it won't be, definitely not something nice. So be careful about it. When you carry this one upside down, the retention there is not that great or that big, I would say. So when you jump and when you land, so the energy continues, and this one might fall out of the sheath, which happened to me. And I guess it is because the knife is simply, it's really heavy for the size. It's really heavy. I've got many of that size knives, but they are much lighter, and there is not that issue like this one. So one from the option is to kind of lock it up, tie it up here, so heat it up a little bit more. But on the other hand, when I carry the normal way, there is no such a problem. So it's something like to consider if we want to do it. So keep in mind. Let's go for that standard testing. As I said, and you might see in the video in the forest. So this is the table. I will work on it. This one can't make sparks. Why? Because these edges are really kind of round. It's not round, but simply it's not sharp. It's far away to be sharp. So I'll see the camera, how the camera is set up. Sorry, it's probably, I have to, so it should be all right now. Let's carry on for that. I've prepared this piece of wood. See, it was in a fire, but only on the side, and this is not really crap. It's not an outdoor knife, but it's thick enough. Oh, actually it's more. So see the size, it will be so-so, but I guess the wedge of the design is that thick that it will split the wood as it did. So that's nice. I got piece of spruce here, and I will do feathers out of it, and it is fallen for 3 months about. That could be interesting. Yeah, when the wedge steep angle of the grinding is deep enough, it will work for you as really as a wedge. So let's go straight into it. So we've seen batoning for quite thick piece of wood, and you might see it in that first video I did it there, I guess, or I can't remember now, to be honest. I would handle it this way. It is soft wood, as I said, but it's kind of fresh, and I feel I have to get the proper angle, but you might see how thick those feathers are, because this is not definitely a feather sticker, absolutely not. The surface of the wood is not definitely flat, so sometimes it does something what it wants, not me. But when I find the right spot, it works pretty nice. Really unexpected for such a thick blade, 1/4 inch, and the grind is really steep, and I can't remember what is that secondary bevel, but I guess it was too high. I guess it was 1 millimeter. I'm not sure guys, so check it out in my room. I said that. So anyway, it was for the thing, it was alright. Okay, when I want to do it just like freehand, it's even better, guys. Even the handle looks squarish, and it's some kind. It is very nice, very nice. CPM 20 CV steel on it. Very nice. Softwood. That's important. Of course, for feathers and for fire starting, I like to have softwood if it's possible. So that's something nice. What I want to say for that, as I said, it's kind of squarish handle. It's alright. It's alright, guys. This knife surprises with many things, like the grinding, the handle. This is hardwood, guys. This is no doubt hardwood, as you might see. This is definitely not that crap as it might look. I more scrape the wood out of it than actually I cut. No. This is a very dried wood. See, nice for that fire sparks. This is nice. Okay. What I've realized when I was in the forest, even this is really small knife, say 8 inches, I am not sure. Now the blade is about 10 centimeters, so some sub 4 inches. There is some heft in it, so you can do light chopping with it, what I realized there. So what about the limbing? Definitely not the best tool for it, but you can do it. Light chopping. I'm holding in the reel in this position. Use this little hook there. yeah. So this is definitely something to consider. It can do that, but to have some lashing here, it will be much more secure, because as I said, the knife is quite heavy for its size, so you feel there is a heft, so it wants to go off your hand, which will be not nice. To do it in this way, of course, this is okay. I want to make jokes. Let's go for this about half-inch thick piece. This is ash wood, I guess. Yes, this should be ash, fallen again 3 months ago. So what about to make a tip on it? This wood is enough for all those kinds. What do we want? I want to have a walking stick out of it, of course. I want to have make an axe handle out of it, of course. 10 packs, of course. Traps, triggers, of course. So this is the wood I like to work with if I need. There is a knot there, so I feel that now, of course. Yeah, that's the knot. Nice. It's down. I need to replace this guy, but it's absolutely all right. What about some chest pull cuts? So again, there is the guard, which is really nice. There is the guard. So I got the guard on this spot, which is not really nice. So we'll see. Wow, that's not really nice. Or maybe there was the knot, because, but anyway, yeah. Normally I like to do these chest pulls for like kind of energy saving slices, but with this grind it can do it. You see that it can do it, but I feel it takes more energy than do it simply in this way, because you can better control how many materials you remove, and then of course kind of save energy, because you feel, oh, that's too much, okay, I'll change the angle. I can do it here, but anyway, I feel I have to go more deep, so I have to I have to put the angle on it. So this one I can do it, and it goes deep, but for me simply this one takes a bit more time, but it's more effortless, I would say. If I want to have a tip on it, point, I can do it in different way, of course. Let's say this could be nice 10 pack after that. So use the light chopping. And now more easily finish the job. Nice. This is soft now. See that nice inch in. Without gloves, there is the guard. If I use this one without to have a thumb on it, so one more step, see how deep it went. If I use the thumb on it, absolutely fine, of course. This is kind of military knife, I would say. This is the hardwood without any glove, as you might see. So it's absolutely all right. Oh, anyway, okay, I'll use it for something else. When I want to use the tip more conventionally for making holes in something, because the tip is nice and sharp, like for the stubby tasks, for a few seconds of drilling in hardwood, it's absolutely all right. It's absolutely all right. I might use it. What I do like on this knife, the flat head here. Do I want to use it and split something in? Okay. I would say, I said split, right? So how deep am I? If for somebody the wood looks too thin, sorry, too crappy, see how long it takes to get there. Yes. Not that crappy as it might look from the first start. Okay. This is hornbeam, I always forget. And dried. That's important. So this is dry. This is dry wood, 1 year dry wood, and this is of course much worse. To work with this hardwood is not something you really want. There is a sun from that side, so I don't know how. Okay, this one might be better. Spider Comics XL. How comfy is that with much thinner blade? Not really. That's what I said. It digs here when where the knife rests and goes against the palm. So nothing nice, but that's what I said before. On the softwood it's alright, but for the hardwood it bites more deep. This is more comfy to handle. Why? Because it's thicker. The handle is much more comfortable than that one. Guys, this one will be not something you want to do with this. Yeah, that's really tough. Let's see how maybe see those kind of waves, how the knife bites and bites and bites in. This is gonna be hard to do it with this hardened wood. And last thing, what I want to do is, sorry guys. So hello everybody again. So this is like kind of sensible end of that video for test for this Medford Mizuchi, because what I've realized, and I shooted the video you've seen so far a month ago, I don't know exactly how far is that. So, and there is not the end. So when I said, so I need to do another one thing, so I don't know absolutely what it was, because I've checked that video and I said, okay, I've done everything, you know, light chopping through with something like this one, batoning, cutting, slicing, or piercing, everything what I normally do, try to scrape something. So I don't know what it was. Maybe because of that place there, I had some you know, different kind of woods prepared for something. So I will not carry on that kind of test now. This is like the end of that video, because what happened there, I forget to start the camera. So I said, okay, I need to do one thing. So I did the thing actually, so I was sure that everything is done. So I went home and I said, oh, where is the second part, or the end of the video? There wasn't any. So I was thinking to finish it here, to do the thing I want to do, or I did there. Here I'm at home now, but I don't know what it was. So anyway, so kind of end of this test video, but you might see this knife more often. But this is not the end of this video, because like summary of this Medford Mizuchi, it's great knife. I would start with cons, because you know that it's a kind of expensive knife for that size, but that's to be considered. And what's more important is maybe it's more heavy for the size, thanks to the thickness, of course. And the third thing is last, because all of those are kind of plus or minus. Just itself, the relatively high secondary bevel. So this is not a slicer. This is not a slices knife. Of course, it's better to have any folder. Probably, not probably, 99% will slice better than this one. That's minuses, but the price, of course, but because the weight, of course, but there is a toughness behind it. About the sliciness, of course, there is some the edge stays in that condition for a long time, so it depends. The plus is it's pretty compact for that, for the thickness, for the toughness, what we have there. Good sheath. Be careful what I said on the start. And it could be used for everything, like say urban survival knife, everything, like a companion for any folder. If you don't want to carry some big blade, especially for that, if you want to do some really nasty task, to baton with, let's say to baton, doesn't mean only to split, but to go through something with a folder will be not really good. With this one, absolutely no problem. Use a stick and then we can do it. So it's very good for lots of things. So I really like this knife, and I can recommend this knife, but it's about everyone to consider the price, compare what we get for that. So Medford Mizuchi, for me, great knife. Have a great time. Bye.